with Jason Callanan, who is the Mayor of Yaara Ranges, and Julie Sampson, who is the Regional Tourism CEO for Yaara Ranges. So, good afternoon to both of you. As we know, annual Chinese visitors have recently exceeded 1 million people for the first time in all of Australia. With this increase of visitors from the Chinese tourism market, what areas of the Yaara Ranges do you find will experience the most influence from this?
Well, I think this region is known for its wineries. We have over 60 cellar doors and over 150 wineries. So that is one of the main draw cards, and especially because we are less than an hour from Melbourne. So there's not too many places in Australia that can have with so many wineries and so close to a major capital city. So I think our wine region, as a wine region, the wineries will see a lot of increases and already have seen a huge increase in Chinese visitors. And we also want to grow our overnight visitation. But we also know that any international visitor likes to see diversity of their experiences, and we have a world-class Healesville Sanctuary, which is a wildlife centre, and it's world-class, and you can get close to all Australia's native wildlife. And not very far away, we have the world-famous Puffing Billy, which is a steam train, and so it's about linking the experiences to make a very complete experience, whether it's 1 day or 2 days in the Yarra Valley.
Oh, lovely. So in terms of the Yarra Valley's tourism industry, we know that the area has a lot to offer. There's obviously an expected increase in business, in foreign investment, and also in job opportunities for the area. Can you tell us a little bit about how you feel that the industry can expand and develop to fit this increase of demand?
Yes, I think we are working with the industry to make sure that they service the visitor in the right way. So we're doing a lot of training of industry so that they know how to. Recently we've just done a workshop on Chinese language and mannerisms, so that the cellar door, person behind the cellar door doing the wine tastings can welcome a visitor in their home language, where we're spending a lot more time on making sure that our service excellence is to an international standard. I think there's lots of benefits for many of our aspects of our region, whether it's more Chinese ownership and things like that.
So in terms of that, what does the council?
The council is the main driver for us is to support our industry and support the Yarra Ranges tourism groups, and to promote the area as much as we can. So by facilitating anywhere we can see possible, whether it's through advertising, whether it's through facilitation around planning, and so that we can try and get our doors open and bring people in for business and come to visit our area. That's the main reason.
In terms of that, do you see for local communities, do you see a lot of opportunities, for example, younger community members with employment opportunities and development?
Absolutely. The more people we get coming to here, the more business opportunities are. Therefore, it's a flow-on effect, isn't it? So you get more opportunities for young people to gain jobs in certain industries, especially out here. We've got a variety of types of industries, whether it's agriculture, whether it's anything to do with hospitality and those sort of things. So it all flows on, and the more we try and have people visit and stay and play, the benefit is just threefold.
So the Yarra Valley, as you said, agriculture, it's known for its spectacular wines and the beautiful vineyards around here, but it's also known for other locally produced products. What can you tell us about those aspects that the region has to offer?
We've got a very strong berry, strawberry produce sector in this region, and I think we grow more strawberries than any other region. Would that be right, Mayor?
My family grows them, so yes.
And that is a really popular experience, especially for the Chinese market. So we have strawberry, quite a long growing season for strawberries, a shorter season for cherries. We have one operator called Rainer's Orchard, where you can do a tractor tour for 1 hour, and he has over 300 varieties of stone fruit. And so he's always got something to pick and taste, and that is really popular with the Chinese market. And then we've got boutique hotels to escape to. We have the adventure of ballooning, and there is nothing more spectacular than being in a hot air balloon and going over this spectacular country, and an increased in cycling tourism. So get out and do some adventure, as well as the wildlife that we were talking before.
Okay, so with the tourism increase and with the Yarra Valley region being such a desired visiting spot for pretty much anybody who comes to Victoria, specifically Chinese visitors, as you mentioned, what kind of tours and activities are there that can be taken advantage of other than the fruit?
Yeah, well, a lot of the visitors come out on coach tours from Melbourne. They base themselves in Melbourne, and we know that historically the Chinese was a group tour. Now it's a lot more independent travellers, but they still quite often go in a coach. So there is a self-drive market, but there is also these coach tours. Now we have a number of companies doing day tours into our region, and there is at least one doing an overnight tour. Some of them mix it up. They might go to the Yarra Valley Chocolatieri and then on to a winery, lunch, and then maybe Hillsville Sanctuary. We've got one tour company that drives all the way to Marysville in the winter and does a snow experience. So we've got the closest snow to any capital city here for a snow play experience. So the tours are varied. We've got a produce tour as well as touring through the Hillsville Sanctuary and Puffing Billy. Or there's the self-drive, and then the other market that is we must not forget is the visiting friends and relatives. There are so many Chinese students studying in Melbourne or living in Melbourne, and the Yarra Valley is one of their best showcases. So if they've got friends and relatives coming to stay with them, they love showcasing this region as a day or two escape from Melbourne.
Well, there's a big difference between here and China. It's not many places in China that you've got an hour's drive to somewhere as beautiful as the Yarra Valley.
That's right.
That's lovely. And with the small town village feel, many of the towns in the Yarra Valley do play host looking for visitors looking for that exact, authentic small town experience. What can you tell us about local accommodation? We've
got hundreds of privately owned bed and breakfast, so privately hosted accommodation, and so there you're going to a little cottage with maybe 1 or 2 bedrooms. Some of them are in rural communities and some of them are in township communities, and that is probably the most popular form of accommodation in this region. And then on the other end of the scale, we have somewhere as beautiful as Chateau Yearing Hotel, which is 32 rooms in a historic house with beautiful gardens. And then we've got a range of accommodation properties in between those two.
So with the Yarra Valley also being well known for weddings, wedding photo shoots, wedding receptions and ceremonies, this ever-increasing demand for these large capacity venues and for wedding receptions, specifically from Asian communities that we are noticing recently. Are there a lot of venue options in the Yarra Valley, and are there any possible plans to accommodate further demand on this?
We are one of Melbourne's most popular wedding destinations, and I think there are a whole range of wedding venues that are highly sought after. Stones is one of them. There's countless wedding venues. Balgownie Estate, which has 70 rooms, so a lot of the wedding party can stay there. And I think the hardest thing that for the Asian market is actually to get in with the time limitations. I know that some of our venues book out the minute they open up new space. So it's about having, we've got so much demand, it's about fitting it in and getting in before the demand is taken from the Melbourne market, because we are so desired as a wedding, and who would not want to get married and have their photos taken in the vineyards. I mean, it's just beautiful.
So in terms of further development for this kind of demand in the area, what kind of ideas does the council have in terms?
Well, again, it's council's ability to say to the broader community and to overseas markets that we're open for business. And so it's about the ability to bring those people in that market in and showcase what we've got to offer here, and then facilitate them through that, you know, and give them the VIP treatment in order to facilitate them to invest into the Yarra Valley, which, in my opinion, is probably one of the best places in Australia to invest in. And so that's council's role, really, is just really to try and capture that market and help them through how they want to develop here.
So with that, how can we increase the area's pull for Chinese visitors, but also for Chinese investors that might want to be a part of such a vibrant area, and what kind of future developments can we expect to handle any increases of tourists?
We've identified, there was a number of areas. I mean, just having more restaurant openings with new innovation is always going to drive more visitation. I think farm stays and hosted accommodation in a larger scale, not just one bedroom, but to have, being so close to Melbourne and a rural community, to find some unique accommodation that is uniquely designed. People will come out and stay if it is unique and it does involve a natural habitat, whether that's animals surrounding it. We have Yearing Gorge cottages, which is a number of cottages where where kangaroos, you know, or wallabies can be seen, and I think that is a huge potential. The walking aspects, to get more infrastructure in our national parks around here, would be fantastic. At Eco Lodge, those type of things will really draw visitation, and just making a cycling hub. We're wanting a cycling hub and to be renowned as a cycling region with products. We've just had a new operated startup where you can hire, as an international tourist, hire from point A to point B, but there's so much more that we need to make that easier for them.
Okay, so what kind of planning and support can be provided by Yarra Ranges Council to encourage further business development and also possibly Chinese investment into the Yarra Ranges?
Well, it's about council being able to understand what the Chinese market wants and to facilitate that. So it's understanding where the demands are coming from through agencies like the Yarra Ranges and Tourism Board, where they see that the demand is, and working closely with other groups about how can we help them. And as we've heard, we've got a lot of investment happening here in the Yarra Valley. We've got things like the proposed Warburton bike hub, which will create millions and millions of dollars in the investment into the economy of the Yarra Ranges, but also create jobs as well, and a perfect destination where you can stay and look at the Yarra River and ride around, and what a perfect place to do it in. So yeah, it is really about understanding that market, and that's why we utilise boards like the Yarra Ranges and Tourism Board and other markets.
I'm just interested as well, with current investment trends into places like wineries and cellar-door vineyards kind of areas. Do you expect that to increase further, or would you like it to increase a little more as time goes on?
The Yarra Ranges Council, we would love to see more investment here. But we've got to also maintain what we've got here, isn't it? And it's that vista, it's that environment. That's why people come here, is to see this great place that we're in. If we overinvest, we start to lose that. So it is a careful balance. And I guess from a Yarra Ranges tourism point of view.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's been really interesting is we've had 5 really large restaurants open in the last 2 years, which are world class. And what that's done is renewed interest in this region, but it's also encouraged the other restaurant wineries to upgrade, to compete. So it's actually bringing the standard of experience up just one more notch, which is fantastic. And I think there's always room for a number of wineries to continue to, whether it's new experiences within their winery or upgrade within their existing infrastructure. And I look at diversification as well, and I look at the investment of the Yarra Valley Chocolatieri, which is it's private investment, it's a point of difference, and it has, it received 1 million visitors very quickly because of its point of difference. And so you're always looking for something that's different and unique that will add to the visitor experience.
As someone who grew up in the region, it's been quite interesting to watch the developments and all the different wineries expand and new ones pop up, which is fantastic. So this kind of leisure area, surfing with things like the Yarra Valley, great grazing during February and March. This kind of thing. Are you expecting to see more Chinese visitors come to that in the future?
Well, I mean, actually, I was going to bring up festivals and events. Yeah. That is in our strategic plan. That is vital, and I actually think it is we as a region need to do better with our festivals and events, because we've got over 5 million visitors of just Melbourne, and part of that is the Chinese community within Melbourne. We have a lantern festival in the Dandenong Ranges, which attracts thousands. We've got the Tesla Tulip Festival, which runs for 4 weeks in September, October, and it attracts over 100,000 people in those 4 weeks. And that's just for people to walk through fields of tulips. And we need more events, and we need them to be, and we need infrastructure, we need funding to create great events, and that's certainly what we will be looking forward in the next 3 years to come up with some new and exciting festivals that will draw visitation out here. So open for ideas in that area.
Well, you could, because we're at Chinese New Year at the moment.
Yes.
Consider Yarra Ranges Chinese New Year celebration with open wineries and cellar doors. Could be a bit of a selling point.
Well, the Lantern Festival, though it's not at that time, was perfectly positioned. And last year in October we had our first Yarra Valley Balloon Festival. Yeah. And that would be perfect for Chinese New Year, because it's lights and action and a little bit of and marrying lanterns and firecrackers, and that's Chinese New Year.
Fantastic. So that's all for today. Thank you very much. Unless there's anything else you want to do?
No.
Hey, no worries.
Come and visit us. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for your time. In Chinese, to say come and visit us, 欢迎大家来参观. So welcome everyone. 欢迎 is welcome. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much,
Jason and Julie. And we'll hopefully see you again in the area sometime.
Thank you.
Thank you.